Loan amortization schedule. Now, when we talk about loan amortization schedule, we want to come up with a table that will allow us, when doing loan amortization schedule, of course, we come up with a table that will allow us to make payments, where payments includes the installments. Installments are inclusive of the interest and the principal amount. So we want to make payments which will reduce the loan to zero at the end of the period that will be specified. So that is a loan amortization schedule. So the opening balance of the loan will be increased by the interest, and at the same time they will be reduced by the installments that we'll be making, so that at the end of a particular period, let's say 5 years or 60 months or whatever you are doing, it will return zero because you've serviced the loan fully. That is a loan amortization schedule. And you can see our explanation of what it is. A complete table of periodic loan payments showing the amount of principal and interest that comprise each level of payment until the loan is fully paid. That is loan amortization schedule. Now, there are two ways of doing this. You can create your own schedule in Excel by just bringing in the Excel formulas, like the one that I've displayed on the board there, where we have the period, then we have the obligation, opening obligation, we have the interest, which is B times, or A, the opening obligation times the rate that you have. The installment is C, computed using PMT. If you do PMT, you can be able to get the installments. The principal is the installment minus the interest. Then the closing obligation is the opening obligation minus the principal. If you run this through and lock your formulas well, you are going to return with a value of zero at the end of the day. Now, apart from doing that, you can also be able to use an Excel template for loan amortization schedule. How do you get an Excel template of loan amortization schedule? You go to File, so you simply click on File, you click on File, File, then New, File, then New. Then you will see loan amortization. If you don't see loan amortization, now make sure you have internet. If you don't have internet, then you cannot be able to get it. So there's a place for searching online templates. You just search for loan amortization schedule. Loan amortization schedule. So you can see that I already have mine. I have used it before and already have a template for loan amortization schedule. If you don't have, you have to search for it online. Only if you are connected to the internet, then search for that loan amortization schedule. I think my spelling was wrong, so they cannot find that. So loan amortization schedule. So it will search across online templates and they are going to give you the loan calculator and the loan amortization schedule. This is what I have. So if you have this, you click on it and it will open. So I'm clicking on that, then create. You simply create and it's downloading the template. In a short while, we'll be having that as our element. Now look at this, it's already a sample. The loan amount is 5 million, then the annual interest rate, the period, and so many other things, and it automatically gives you what you want. Now, assuming I'm deleting all this, we don't have all these items, you create your own. We are creating our own. So actual number, I want to remove all this. There is no early payment and all those items like that. So the number of periods, I've also removed everything. So I'm using an example of what I have in my workbook on the other side. Look at the illustration. Mr. Kamau Mbiu borrowed a loan of 5 million from Wananchi Bank. The interest rate implicit on the loan is 11% per annum, compounded monthly. Mr. Kamau expects to pay the loan in a period of 6 years. Required loan amortization schedule. Now remember, it's being compounded monthly. Now, loan amount, the assumptions, the rate per annum, the rate per month, the years, and also the months have been given. Go back to the template, mindful of what we have. The loan amount is 5 million. 5 million. We just write 5 million like this. What is the annual interest rate? Annual interest rate. Annual years. So the annual interest rate is 11. Loan period in years is, you are saying that it is 6 years. 6 years. Number of payments in a year? They said monthly. So number of payments in a year are 12 because they said monthly. Now start date of the loan. I'm assuming that the loan begins on 1/1/2025. We are starting 2025. So that is the start date of the loan. Scheduled payment, they have already computed the payment themselves. You can see scheduled payments. That has been computed automatically without me doing anything. Then the selected number of payments, that one was also done automatically. That is 12 times 6, you get 72. Actual number of payments, of course, automatically update the actual number of payments. You can just leave those ones. So if you do that, then the answer will be there. And you can see that Excel provides your loan amortization schedule for you. So what you have to do is just to fill up there, and the rest will be populated. You just do the loan amount, the annual interest rate, the loan period in years, and the number of periods in a per year, and the start date. That is all. Then huku chini, everything will be given up to period 72. Now period 72, the balance should be 0. You can check through. The outstanding balance is this, which is 0. You can see the ending balance from what you have up there. Column E, this is the column for ending balance, and the ending balance is 0. That is one way of doing loan amortization schedule. Loan amortization schedule. And the easiest. And the easiest, I hope so. Only if you can get that template for loan amortization schedule. Now we want to do another way, which is where you create your own table and fill in with formulas and see if things can work. Now we go back to our workbook. You can point on the Excel hapa chini. The workbook is here. And now we want to solve this using our very own way. Now, just check the installment, remove whatever is here that had been computed. We have a place for installment using PMT on our Excel workbook now. Then you can recompute it now using what we've just done today. PMT. What is the rate? You use per month. So click on per month, comma. Number of periods, use 72. Number of periods, use 72, comma. Then the value is 5 million. That is how you get PMT. And remember, we've done that before coming to the loan amortization schedule part. The answer will remain as the one that was there, which is 95,170. Here, and I can see you're lost. Okay. I hope the guys who are virtual are still around. So zingine internet inapotea tu. So installment using PMT is 95,170. Now months. Months are from 1 to 72. 1 to 72. Now what do? Do you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 72? Now what you do, you write 1 and 2 only. Just write 1 and 2. 1 and 2 only. 1 and 2, then select the 1 and 2. Just 1 and 2, then select the 1 and 2 together like that. You know how we drag formulas. I don't know if you double click here, can it work, or it will force us to drag? So if you double click here, it doesn't. So you need to drag. What does this say? Nothing. So you just drag from this part, moving down to 72. Remember, you write 1, 2, select the two of them, then drag as we move. Drag as we move. All the way to 72. Don't go past 72. Here we are. You will have up to 72. Now, how do you get the opening balance? What is the opening obligation of the loan? Opening obligation of the loan. Equal sign, then click on the 5 million. Equal sign, then click on the 5 million. Enter. How do we get the interest? The interest is the 5 million times the rate of interest per month. So that will be equal sign. Remember, I did not lock the 5,000, the 5 million up there. There is no locking that happened here. We just did equal sign, then we clicked on 5 million. When I want us to lock, we will lock something. Like the interest is going to be locked. So this will be equal sign. Click on the 5 million and multiply that with the rate per month. And the rate per month is 0.917. The 0.917, which is D76. Lock it with absolute cell referencing. That is F4. Function key F4. Some laptops accept FNF4. You will see a dollar sign before D and a dollar sign before 76. So make sure you lock the red one. The red one is the interest. The D76. Enter. Installment. How do we get installment? PMT. Installment is PMT. Now be keen on PMT because I want it to be a positive figure. And the way it's here is negative. So I'll negate so that it can be a positive figure. That will be equal sign negative. Equal sign negative. Then click on the 95,170. The 95,170 and lock it with absolute cell referencing. That's a constant amount throughout. So I've locked the D80 and I've also negated it so that it comes as a positive figure. You don't have to. The PMT. But I removed and we redid again. The PMT. See, I removed and then we did PMT again just a while ago. So equal sign negative, then you click on the D80. D80 is this. Okay. Make sure you lock with absolute cell referencing. Principal, how do we get principal? The installment minus the interest. The installment minus the interest. The installment minus the interest. Enter. How do you get closing balance? How do we get the closing balance? Now, we did not lock anything on the principal, remember. We've not locked anything on the principal. Now, closing balance will be equal sign opening balance minus principal. So closing balance is opening balance minus principal, and we've not locked anything on that. Now, we are not going to do up to 72.
Kindly repeat how you got in.
How I got? How I got?
Interest.
Interest is opening balance times the opening balance, the 5 million times the rate per month. So you take 5 million times this 0.917. That's how you get the interest. Then you lock the interest. You can see C83 times the D76, the colored blue times red, the blue times red. Then you lock the red one with absolute cell referencing. Okay. Now the second here, The opening balance in month 2, what will it be? That will be the closing balance in month 1. So equal sign, then click on the closing balance in month 1. That will be the opening in month 2. Interest drag down. Remember we locked. If you did not lock, you'll get a wrong answer. But because we locked, just drag the formula. Drag the formula here to month 2. For installment, also drag the installment to month 2. For principal, also drag to month 2. For closing balance, also drag to month 2 like that. That is all. Then finally, before we solve a few questions, you select this way. Before we welcome the questions, you see they are selected from the, is it from 5 million or from, let me check. I think it's only this one. The second month, then copy, drag to the end. You simply drag to the end. That will be all. So if you drag this to the end, it will return 0, I believe. And that is the loan amortization schedule done. So you can see it returns 0 at the end of month 72 just by doing what we've done there. So the closing balance is 0 as seen in month 72.